Gandalf will go off and be like, you idiot, you idiot, squeak down, we don't need to hear from you right now. Yeah, I just thought I'd show you my kind of like dark gothic book haul, might I say. It's basically the main character goes into this different dimension kind of thing, and hey guys, I just wanted to pop on here to show you the op shop baddie books that I got today. I really slayed it with the books. I got absolutely nothing in terms of clothes, but you know, I got some books and I wanted to show you them. First one I got, The Secret History by Donna Tartt. Now, if you're a Brittany Broski fan, this is like her favorite book. Fun little fact. And it's a real classic, like very popular book. Donna Tartt's The Secret History is the original American campus novel. When Richard Papin joins an elite group of clever misfits at his New England college, it seems he can finally become the person he wants to be. But the moral boundaries he will cross with his new friends and the deaths they are responsible for will change all their lives forever. The Secret History recounts the terrible price we pay for mistakes made on the dark journey to adulthood. Okay, ominous. Yeah, and there's like a lot of like I can't remember if it's Greek or like Shakespearean like references in this, and like she's a thick boy, so this will be a quest. I have mentioned that I wanted to read this because my sister's just finished this, and well, not just finished, but she finished it last year, and my friend's currently reading it, so perhaps this will be on the horizon. But apparently it's not very pleasant, and it's kind of depresso at the end, so like it sounds pretty depresso, so I don't know, I feel like I might wait a bit to read this because I don't know, I don't know if I'm really in the mood for that. I feel like I need more like uplifting vibes. But that's the first one I bought for $3. Like truly $3. Like bargain. Next one I got, The Body Keeps the Score. I'm sure you have seen this book around. Again, $3.50. And it's about the mind, brain, body in the transformation of trauma. Fascinating, hard to put down, and filled with powerful case histories, the most important series of breakthroughs in mental health in the last 30 years. Basically, this is just about trauma. I have actually listened to this as an audiobook. From what I've read of this so far, it was really interesting kind of thinking about just how like new it is for society to even recognize that what happens to you, not just the physical things that happen to you, but the like emotional and mental things like play a big part, and like your body keeps a score. And it's just crazy like how like not so long ago that wasn't even acknowledged as a thing that's real. So interesting. Next one is Small, which we love a book that's small because we can feel good about ourselves, but we don't have to read much. This is another classic, Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad. This sounded really interesting to me. I know nothing of this book except what I've read on the back. A novel of hallucinatory violence and strangeness, Heart of Darkness tells the story of the sailor Marlowe and his entanglement in the horrors of colonialism in Africa. He travels up to Congo on a steamer in search of the great ivory trader Kurtz, the universal genius, who rules his lands through terror and has made himself a god. Joseph Conrad's masterpiece is a harrowing, gripping portrait of a man's potential for evil. Honestly, it sounds pretty bleak, but also maybe like an important read. So I'm excited to read that again when I have the mental space to do that. This I'm excited about because I started the audiobook of this too, and then I was like, no, I want to read this. Dracula, and I got this cool hardcover, Dracula by Bram Stoker. Now I haven't read much of this so far, but so far like the very start of it, it's just like this persnickety guy who I think is going to meet Dracula, and I'm sure crazy stuff will go down. Listen to them, the children of the night, what music they make. That's a quote. Very spooky, very dark gothic. We like perhaps an era I will go through. I don't know, because what I also found was this really cool big hardcover book, Tales of Mystery and Imagination, Edgar Allan Poe, illustrations by Harry Clark. So cool. Like, this is so freaking cool. Even being honest, I don't really know much about Edgar Allan Poe. I think we looked at one of his the crow or the raven in film and television, or maybe English, and that was literally it. But I just thought this looked really cool, and it's just a bunch of his poems. I think they're just poems, and then like all this really cool like creepy art, like very like dark gothic. This is just the introduction, but I'll read a little bit of it. On October 3rd, 1849, Edgar Allan Poe, 41 years old and arguably the most famous living American poet, was discovered slumped over in a Baltimore tavern that happened to be serving as a polling place for the day's municipal elections. Normally impeccably attired in a tailored black suit, he was shabbily dressed in what appeared to be another man's clothes. But yeah, it seems pretty spooky vibes, which is cool. But yeah, these are all my books, and I feel very happy about getting so many from the op shop. Like what a true haul. I will say none of them are that happy. I feel like Dracula I don't think is like happy, but I think that will be the easiest for me to stomach, kind of just like from listening to the tone of the audiobook. But yeah, I just thought I'd show you my kind of like dark gothic book haul, might I say. I've definitely like, I find it hard to read dark things and hard like upsetting things, but I do think it's important to read things, especially when they're going to like broaden your mind and teach you new things and tell you new stories. There's some sad, upsetting stories that should be heard and need to be heard, and you can learn a lot from them. I'm realizing that with age, and like something my sister said actually, like she mentioned that to me because we'd always like really like only watched happy things, and she was kind of like, she like questioned that in us, and I'm thankful that she did, because I think it's given me, and there's definitely, I have boundaries with it. Like I definitely don't seek out horrible things still, because I don't want to expose myself to needless pain and upset and depressing stories. But there also is a place for like these stories, and like good stories that tell maybe a dark tale or something heavy. There's definitely a place, and they can give you a lot. And things can't be happy and funny and hilarious all the time. Even though I know you're watching my videos, so you probably think they do, because I really put out those vibes. But yeah, awesome. I'm just going to do a little pose with my book because I feel proud. Also, I don't know if you can hear, but it is raining. So the vibes are really gothic and cool right now. I fight for my and play it cool, but I'm making it so. Hey guys, I'm currently at the library with my sister. And it might be a bit noisy because there's like a whole bunch of babies and mums and parents. Babies and parents here. Tell them what they're doing. And they're getting books read to them and having social times, which is really cute. And Ebony is currently doing some writing on her book that she has mentioned in a past video. That's top secret. And I'm going to maybe do some writing, but I'm also going to just do some journaling in my journal. I still am persisting with this journal at the moment. But we'll see. Stay tuned for that. And then I have my mini sketchbook. I also thought it would be fun, because it's a library, to pick out a book to like get references from. So that's exciting. I'm going to show you the book quickly and just show you what's in here, because it's quite cool. It's by someone called Roger Luckhurst, and it's Gothic and Illustrated History. It's got heaps of references to like different architecture, which is pretty cool. That's so cool right there. I just watched this movie in cinema and it was amazing. I haven't seen that yet, but it looks pretty cool. Pan's Labyrinth, it's called. This is actually a really cool book. I like that. Hey guys, I just thought I'd quickly come in here because I finished 2 books finally. Since last showing you this, I left it in the rain. And don't worry, I know how serious that is and I feel really bad. I have destroyed this book in many ways, but it was still readable. It was still readable and I made myself read it. And I will keep it, but the cover literally is falling off. Like it's pretty dire, but I need to keep it because I feel bad. But finished Hobbit and I finished Fairy Tale by Stephen King. And I have thoughts on both of these books. I didn't realize, but both of these books are kind of like, I feel like I've always read books that are like very popular with women, not on purpose, but just because it's like stuff I'm into. And I didn't realize that both Hobbit and Fairy Tale are like more men read these books kind of books. Stephen King in particular, it has a very like gendered perspective, I would say. There's just a few things that like he says and I'm kind of like, huh? Like, why'd you say that? Why'd you say that? Just like, it's just a little something. I don't really know. Like, I'm not like cancelling Stephen King or anything like that, but like, he's just like, it's a little something. In saying that, it was a very wholesome book overall. They're like minor things, but I just think I noticed in general reading Stephen King's writing, it was like the first time I'd like thought about, oh, this is a man writing this book. Whereas I've never really thought about it before, is all I'm really trying to say. I don't know, like tell me if you've read a Stephen King and you kind of know what I'm talking about. Like some things he just says and I'm going like, you almost got it, but like you just said that in a weird way. And same with Hobbit, like Hobbit's like definitely like men read this book and it's about a bunch of men. Like there's not one woman in this, I don't think. I don't think there's one woman mentioned in this actually, now that I think about it. No, there's like, I actually don't think there is one woman mentioned in this. There's no female characters in The Hobbit, lol. In saying that, Hobbit was super charming. What a charming little book. I love Bilbo. He is like a killer. He cracked me up. Like he was cracking me up because he's just so like, I'm just a hobbit and like, I want my food and I want my comfortable life and like, what the heck am I doing here? And the dwarves were freaking peeving me off, let me tell you. And Bilbo, mind you, like, tell me why you didn't think you didn't think anything through, my boys. Like, you just like, their whole quest, I'm going to tell you the quest because it's like, come on, like, it's well known, but I won't give any major spoilers just in case you haven't freaking watched The Hobbit. But basically the whole quest is that the dwarves, like, lost their kingdom and now there's like a big dragon hoarding all their kingdom under the mountain and all their gold and riches. Tell me why they didn't think a single like thing ahead of like actually getting to the mountain. Like they get to the mountain and they're like, how are we gonna get this treasure actually? Like, how are we gonna get it? Like they're just like not thinking. They're not thinking. What I really liked about the book is like everything, all the issues kind of just like solve. Like there's like, oh no, we've just like completely stuffed this up and now we're like entrapped and the spiders, it gets solved. Like a few pages, it gets solved. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed also that the like fighting or the action didn't like go on, because I really am not a fan of waffling on of things, especially like action. So for me, like I liked that it kind of like something was like an issue happened and then like you read a bit more and then it gets solved and then they're onto something else and they're into a different kind of trouble. It was like definitely had a great sense of humor in it too. Like it was silly and like Bilbo was silly the whole time. He's just a little bit of a cutie who is a bit silly and like just kind of gets things wrong sometimes. And like Gandalf will tell him. Gandalf will go off and be like, you idiot. Squeak down, we don't need to hear from you right now. I liked the overall message at the end because it's kind of like, we end it with Bilbo just being like, I don't really care for this gold and money, like if I want to go back to my food and my lovely cozy home. And we love that message, obviously. We love that message here. Hey guys, sorry I had to move because of a sound issue. But anyway, as I was saying, I understand that Stephen King is a really popular author and I've only read one book of his, so I don't want to judge him too harshly, but I gotta say, Fairy Tale, it waffled on for me a lot. I really enjoyed the first part of the book. Without giving too much away, he meets this old man and he starts taking care of him, and there's like mystery about who he is and how he's got all his money and stuff like that. Loved that. I was really intrigued through all of that, but that's only on a third of the book. And another thing I need to mention, this book is freaking long. It was hours. I think it was like 24-hour audiobook. Like, it was like really insanely long, and I'll get into that. But anyway, it was like a third of the book that I liked, but as soon as he goes into the other world, it gets really boring. It got so boring to me. Also, my Stephen, you repeat yourself way too much. Like, there was just like way too many times that he repeated the exact same things. Basically, the main character goes into this different dimension kind of thing, and he'll say something in English and with his like American slang, and then it will be just through the magic of the place, like he'll say something different. And like, he explained that god near 20 times. Probably more. Anytime he got the chance, he would tell you that fact. And can I say, you could have said it maybe twice, 3 times. And he was saying that way too much. And there was just things like that he was like repeating over and over again. And I was like, please don't be telling me this again. Like, we know. There was things like that, like just like that I found to be quite boring and really repetitive. And also just the whole story when he goes to this new dimension, I found just too like, I just found it boring. And I don't know if it's just because I actually wasn't looking for that from a Stephen King book. Like, I was looking for more of, I don't know, like a mystery horror thing. And at the start it feels like that, but then it gets into like, this is like a little fantastical adventure, I guess, but which sounds like something I would like, but it just was boring. It was just boring. So let me know if you've read Fairy Tale and if I should try a different Stephen King book. Like, definitely Fairy Tale isn't his like most popular books. Like, I feel like It is one. Yeah, just like thoughts on it was overall, it really lagged on. Like, the reward at the end wasn't worth it. I was just kind of like, oh yeah, cool, happy for you. I will say that it kind of gets tied in a neat bow. So if you like books that don't end with a horrible ending that's unsatisfying, then you're safe with Fairy Tale, because it ties up quite nicely. But I gotta say, didn't enjoy it that much. I was like, I felt relieved to have finished it. Like, I was like I like finished it and I was like, oh my god, that was a journey. And like, not a good journey. I was kind of like, thank god that thing is over, and I finished it. But anyway, definitely Hobbit was my fave. But even so, I think I'm ready to go back to a bit more romance, a bit more je ne sais quoi. Because maybe, I didn't realize it, but like reading two like male dominant, male perspective books for a girly pop like me, it was hard. And I was getting bored. I was getting bored of it. Okay, so it's time to slam dunk back into freaking girly popville. Okay, we need to start serving girly pop romance, girly pop slay hood, just to go back to my roots, because I was getting really bored. Okay, would recommend Hobbit. Fairy Tale I wouldn't recommend, but if you like Stephen King, just ignore what I'm saying. I just think I might not really like his writing. But yeah. In a funny way, this is like, this is going to come off as arrogant, and you know what, maybe it is, but I'm just going to share it with you anyway. Reading Stephen King's writing, even though I know that he's a good writer, but it inspired me to believe that maybe I could write a book. And I know some of y'all are gonna have my head for that, but just seeing the flaws in writing and like reading a writer and not really enjoying it, it's kind of just like, oh, you don't have to be perfect to be a writer, and you don't have to make books that everyone will love. Like, just kind of like that, reading someone's writing and kind of like seeing the flaws, it just helped me not have such imposter syndrome about trying to write. Because Stephen King, I had some critiques for you, okay? I'm sorry. Okay. Bye.